We got a late start today.
Yep.
Had to take the dog to the vet. You guys helped me do that. So we're on the Chinook. I've been researching Chinooks. They got a little bit of a following. Some of them are pretty cool. So I kind of figure how it works. I need to have this thing off of here.
Wait, what thing? Off of where?
This thing
The whole...
off of the car. So we're going to take this floor out totally. I want to save that fender wells and fender wells. I don't care if you take a Sawzall and cut it along the edge. What you got to do, we got to pull that off up there. And this is what I thought it was. It's the cot option, the very rare cot option. So that comes across there. There's a piece that goes on there, and
Yep.
that's a cot.
And you like lay on it like a bed.
Uh-huh. So
Pretty cool.
that is cool. So you guys got a job out here.
Yeah.
You want to get this off?
I got a
here?
spider on you.
I got a spider on me. Uh-oh. Can't imagine. So I'm walking by Eddie, and I'm not even going to talk to him because I see what he's doing. He's putting the vents in for the defrosters. And this is never a fun job. How we doing this morning?
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. So he's under there drilling holes, getting ready to put the air conditioner in. So it's an important part of the job, having defroggers, but it is a real pain in the butt, actually. So carry on, Eddie. Have fun. So I broke a major rule. When you work in Daryls' area, clean up and do it when he's not around. I was going to come back yesterday, which was Sunday, and clean up my mess, and I didn't. So he just walked away when I walked up. But he's building, looks like he's building triangulated foiling. Oh, he must be so we're working on Insanity, it looks like. We wanted to get things a little bit more heavy duty and a little thicker, so that must be what he's doing here on 4-link. I know we had talked about that. So this is working on Insanity. Looks like he's got the panhard bar bracket in. We'll just have to come back and follow up on this in a little while. All right, there's Brian. He's the man. You're going to make sure we're going to be safe going into Indianapolis and to Evansville and to Barron County. And
Yeah, I'm all done with the other side.
you're not done, or you are?
No, I'm all done with the other
Oh.
side. Just about done with this one.
I see the new shock is in there.
Yep.
I ordered a set of keys for the locking lugs. So they'll be here tomorrow, so we don't need to get new lug nuts. I got a whole set of keys for them. So, and I fixed my little vents here. I couldn't control myself. I'm going to go along this line here, down above the molding, down and paint the whole quarter and call it good. Seeing how it's an old work farm truck anyway, so
Well, it'll be a lot nicer than an old farm truck now.
yeah, the suspension was pretty
Now,
poor.
you are going to want to get the front end alignment on this.
It's scheduled for Wednesday. All right.
Because
Well, good.
I'm putting it as close to where it was originally. And then you're going to have to, the alignment will get it all flat.
But you know what? Nobody that's watching this video cares. You know what they care about?
Hot rods.
Their hot rods, even more specifically. So we need to get back on that sedan as soon as you're done here.
Yep.
Okay, very good.
That's the only spot. Man, we can't saw back the egg.
Okay. Time is money.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying. Trust me, I'm trying.
So we're about ready to take it off. We moved it this far, except it's stuck.
Yeah, I think it's just those wires.
We got Brian up here. Look at him. You know what he's not doing?
Working.
Thank you.
He's not working. Let's get this off. Just telling Brian, it's a family joke how many lives I don't have any left anymore.
Yeah.
They about gave me another near-death experience trying to run me over as I'm falling down the hill. But, cut the floor out.
Okay.
Got it. Take the scissor thing off of here, take all that off.
Are these windows off?
Take that cot off. No, yeah, take the windows out. Take the windows out, take all that out. Oh, and restack them windows over there so that the glass is not leaning on something. Yeah, pull these out. Yeah, definitely, this is kind of messed up here a little bit. Take the
You got like a
take the super rare cod out of there.
what they
We've got the other cod I seen over on the ground over there.
Pipeline or
I guess we need to go shopping. It looks like the chaos of the move. So this is going to be our new. Have we decided this is the sort of shipping room? Do I get my garage sale on the Hot Rod Highway room back? We may cut this in half, but we're moving stuff, obviously. Crating, doing the big packing up here. I'm going to hang up here today and help Josh. We're going to get this thing organized and get our parts room a little more organized so that when you call, we can go, yeah, we got it in stock. We can ship this afternoon. When's the last time we did that?
A long time.
That's going to happen. That's our goal. Let's set a goal. Today, this is the month. By the end of the month, we're shipping today.
Yeah, because we had parts everywhere down there. I mean, look at
Parts
the whole
everywhere.
car
We're
we found.
gathering. So there's parts from everywhere. So we've just put it in one pile. I'm going to help you organize the pile today. All right. So give us an hour. How long have we been working on this?
30 minutes, probably.
30 minutes. Enough for me to sweat pretty good. But it's looking better. So if y'all that have been following us very much, you probably remember when the two fell off of the wall when I came through the wall. This is our garage sale on the Hot Rod Highway I used to do with Herschel. We're going to do it again. So here it is. Garage sale on the Hot Rod Highway. And we got a deal for you. This is just one, but we have many. 4-inch drop axles, spring behind drop axles. And plain, no chrome. Wish we had chrome. We're waiting on chrome, but I believe we're the only ones that got those, aren't we?
That is correct.
That's it. So what do we get for those?
I don't know, put me on the spot.
You're on the spot? Anyway, we have them ready to ship. If you want to get a 4-inch drop axle, radius rods and the whole thing, there's one in the box ready. There's a bunch more. We've been organizing the parts room also, so there's a bunch more on the shelf there. So that we have. Here we go. Got a manifold intake thing. Anybody needs that? I don't. For General Motors. What else we got? We got any other deals?
Think of right offhand.
Rod ends? We got lots of rods.
650.
$650.
Yep.
$650, that's the spring, that's a 4-inch drop axle, that's a radius rod, that's all the hardware to put it together, the clevises, the shackles, the whole deal. So there we go. Now I'm going to move on. So I'm up at Trinity right now in the area, what's going to be kind of our final build area. So I'm setting up a little bit of a machine shop and a place where you can just kind of make them little bits of things that you kind of, when you're building something, you never know what you need to build. I walked in here a little while ago to put some stuff off. Oh my gosh. Nuts and bolts, nuts and bolts, nuts and bolts. I have plenty of them. But it's some cool stuff. Here's some stainless stuff here and some this and that. So at some point, somebody's going to be organizing this. But it won't be me and it won't be today. Okay. It's like camping under the stars here, right?
Oh, I wish.
All right.
Getting it knocked out though.
So clean up the edges. You can kind of see where it's been kind of put together.
Yep. Get it all cleaned up.
You about done for the day then?
Yep, we're about done.
You got my top piece. I can work on that tonight with Eric. And
Yes, sir.
well, good deal. It's a Chinook.
The Shinook.
Yeah, we need to get all the trim pieces off and work in the windows a little bit more.
Yep.
All right, well,
Windows
very
being a
good.
pain, but getting it all figured out.
All right, well, I'm going to go work on, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next.
It's not like you got a small list of things you got to.
No, watch
Wherever the wind
the
takes it
video. Yeah, watch the video and you'll know what I did next.
Oh, I know what you're working on.
What?
All right, are you doing your little project over there?
Oh, I forgot that. I didn't come in Sunday. They already know.
I feel left out.
You feel left out on
Yeah, I
the
want
other?
to know what it is.
Oh, well, you got to watch the video.
You got to watch the videos.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see you guys in the morning.
Snapper and blindside are out.
Yeah, you're blindsided. So as the DIY foreman, I need to get my molds back in shape. This is the floor for the 27, and that was a pretty good mold. And if you would ask the question, how long does a mold last? How many parts can you pull out of a mold? And I could take an awesome, excellent mold and put a person on it, an employee that doesn't care and doesn't treat it right, and they can destroy it in a couple parts. Or it's taken care of and prepped properly, ready to go into the gel coat and the fiberglass. Literally, it can pull hundreds, if not 1,000 plus parts. But it's all about the prep. It's all about the details. So what I've done so far on this one, I've made up my goop. It's my proprietary goop. I suppose all mold makers or repair guys have their own formulas, but and I've probably shared it in the past, but I won't go into how I make that right now. But I make that and kind of put it on as Bondo, and then I'm going to sand it, and we'll see what that looks like, and I may put some more on, or I may just sand it down to 320, 400, 600, 1200, 2000, and buff the whole thing and put it back into production. So obviously this wasn't prepped very well under here, but the body line is right here, so the channel in the floor, this isn't part of the part, it's just the flange that bolts it to the body. But this has not been prepped well. And what happens when you drive a wedge in here to drive the body or the floor off the body, it spreads it here if it doesn't come off easy, and made a big crack across there, and then spreads it here. And once you start building a part and gelling in something that's got a little bit of a chip in it, like you see here, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. You can put clay or something in there, you know, temporarily, but it keeps getting worse. It's hard to find tool and die people, mold guys, even girls. I thought I've had a couple. They worked in the mold departments in big boat manufacturers, but all they do is fix little chips like that or things like that. There's probably very few true tool and die mold makers, and I know there is, and they're pretty hard to come by. There's not a whole lot of call for that job in the world, but what call there is, it needs the right person. So anyway, I'm not going to say I want to do tool and die mold making, but if you got a project that interests me, I might consider it. But it's something that we could do here at Spirit, and we have in the past. Well, I'm getting a scraper to get that white off, and I'm going to use this, and it's got a dull edge. Make sure this is kind of dull. But this is the floor in our 23. This is kind of what I was telling you about. It comes off a little different on the angle on that one over there. With there, it would have come off right here. This one, the body folds around. But here's the body right here, and the floor comes down around like this across here. And you just knock that part off there first. You put after you build the body, then you put the floor mold in and build the floor after the fact, but you build it in the same mold. If we didn't do it, that would be too hard to build the body and get around to build everything. Kind of as an example, of last week's video, I had the boys putting the floor in this 32. Now this one goes in after the fact. So we build the floor totally separate, put it on a jig, and then go ahead and we'll tag that in, and we'll glass it and put the Plascore on the top of this floor. This will be a job for Eric tonight. So you see I'm able to kind of scrape this off, but had this mold been prepared properly, that would blow off with the air gun. Real simple, not a problem. So it's all about the details, all about the prep. This wasn't a snapper. Snapper's doing a good job. So he's wanting to learn how to actually do the mold repair. So we may show him, but he's got a Chinook to finish first. So I've got it scraped off. That's what it should look like before it gets gelled. Sometimes it looks like not even cleaned off at all and just re-gelled with it on there. All these lines that you see here, that's somebody in the past just taking the scraper like I was using and not really caring what they were doing and just gouging it. So these are all gouges in the mold. But none of this is part of the part. The part is from this over. So that's the bottom of your T-bucket, the little channel in the bottom of the T-bucket in the 27. So I'm gonna put a little more of my special concoction on. How about I get the other side ready? And I'm gonna wet sand all this, buff it all, get it right. And hopefully in the future, we don't tear it up. So I've got both sides prepped to put on what was going to be my last coat, and you can kind of see this line. It had a giant stress crack there in the mold, and the mold is just not going to be as good as it was in the beginning because of that stress crack, but I can grind that out. I beat it out, I putted it in, and it's going to be pretty good. On the back here, it's at the end of the floor, but I'm just cleaning up some of these things, these chips. If I was actually had the time, I would probably spend, I would have this thing looking like brand new, and it would probably take me about 3 real days of working on it, but I can put it back into production. It's going to make a lot of molds. We've got some other priorities that I need to do, as in start building some of these turnkeys. I can't wait to start working alongside with Eddie and Daryl. It'll be a lot of fun. There's some really cool cars coming up. So right now I'm getting the 27 back into production. All right, so I've got my Ookum putty here, super secret formula. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. But anyway, you just get it, put it on smooth. A lot like Bondo, except this is a tooling gel with some fillers and some polyester resin also. Tooling gel is definitely harder than a regular gel. So I'm gonna go ahead and spread all this, and then it'll take overnight to dry. All right, so we got it on, put it on as smooth as you can do it. Got some basic repairs back here, got this side done. I'll sand this, then I'll get it sanded to 1,000 grit, 1,500, 2,000 maybe. Sand the whole thing, buff the whole thing, and get it back into a good wax. If I was the mold repair guy and working on this mold, and my foreman told me, okay, that's good enough, I'd tell him it's good enough when I'll tell you it's good enough. Probably to make this thing right, after I get all this straight and done, I would sand the whole thing with probably, I'd say 120, and gel coat the entire thing. And then wet sand the entire thing, and then buff the entire thing. But since I'm the DIY foreman, I'm having this internal conflict with the mold repair guy, and the foreman says, just get this thing back into production and get busy. Do something else. This one's been sitting broken down long enough. Actually, when I come out of retirement about, it's almost a year and a half now. First 3 months I come up here. This place was a disaster. And the first thing I wisely did was go talk to Eric and say, Eric, you need to come back. So he's working with me at night now. He's a full-time guide on the river. And he always did help some in the winter time when it's slow. But he's coming in now and actually keeping me on production. I just had a couple guys, and it's amazing in a big factory that somebody does one thing. They tell you they know what they're doing, but they know how to do one thing. And there's kind of a lot of different things that need to be done when it comes to building cars. This is just some of our stable here. I think we've got almost 30 different cars and variations of the different cars. So, plus we do boat dock lockers. We do a couple other products up here in the fiberglass shop. So I'm kind of anxious to come back up here for a little bit and start detailing up some of these molds again. And I got a couple molds I'd like to make for some parts that we've done. And but I think that might be it for today's video. I'm gonna go check on Brian, but we'll have to show you what he did today. Hopefully something tomorrow.